Fantastic. Welcome everybody to the next game in this charity live stream in support of ending youth homelessness. This is being organised by the charity EYH in association with local Southwest charity 1625. So thanks for joining us. It's really good to have you here. We're playing a game of Lasers and Feelings, which is a one-page RPG by John Harper, who also wrote the Blades in the Dark RPG. And it's a loving tribute to the music of the Double Clicks, who are a rather charming and lovely musical outfit that you should check out. So I'm excited to have everybody here. My name's Julia. I am going to be the GM for this for the next hour and a half. And I'm going to go around the group and get a sense of who's here and what kind of character you're going to be playing for this space adventure. So let's start with Tilda.
Hello, my name is Tilda. I'm going to be playing an alien explorer called Katbon Kagongon.
Nice.
They are the best way. Thank you, Dan, for that. The best way you can describe them is very excitable, full of curiosity, and a bit fish-like.
So they're called they're called Katbon, and they're like a fish.
Yes, they are.
Brilliant, fantastic. So tell us a tiny bit about this Katbon character. Like, what are they? They sound like they're not entirely human.
They are 100% not human. They are covered in scales. They are about 5'5", and the scales change color depending on their mood.
Beautiful.
So usually they are like a nice green, very calming, very soothing. If they get excited, it turns into a very vibrant red.
Yeah.
And obviously, when they're a bit sad, they turn a bit blue. If they are yellow, you might want to not be close to them because that means they are very, very frustrated.
Okay, beautiful. And what is Katbon's role on the ship?
They are a science officer, and they're usually they're really into ancient and alien technology. So anything that's unusual, they want to get involved with it.
Fantastic.
And they're always the first one to say, like, if there is an off-world mission, they're the first one to volunteer to go and take a look at everything new and potentially dangerous.
Fantastic. So we've got science officer and explorer Katbon. Thank you, Tilda. Brilliant. Let's go to Dan now. Who have we got?
Hello. Yes. So my name's Dan. I am the usually the DM for the Explorers of Elsewhere channel on YouTube. Today I will be playing Mr. Cuddles, who is a robot envoy on the ship. Mr. Cuddles used to be a very proficient battle droid, but has since been repurposed in this peaceful age to be the point of first contact with alien species. He has an approximately 40% success rate thus far of not introducing violence into first contact, whether accidentally or not accidentally. But there's always room for improvement.
Fair enough. That's great. So Mr. Cuddles he's like a protocol droid type thing. Is that in essence?
In a very common. So I imagine he's very large, top heavy, boxy. Has used to have a skull for a faceplate. Now has like a happy smiling face. Like maybe on a TV screen kind of thing. And whilst he's been reprogrammed to be a peaceful diplomacy droid, the reprogramming wasn't great. It was a bit of a slapdash job. So okay. room for growth.
Lovely, fantastic. Thank you, Dan. And let's go to Nathan next.
So I'm the only person who wasn't in the last game. So if you were here watching the last game and you probably recognize the room, it's because I live with Chris. My name's Nathan. I'm also one of the co-hosts on the Rough Sketch podcast, as Chris mentioned earlier on. I also work for 1625 as well. So when I got asked if I wanted to take part in this, I was like, is this for like a young homeless charity? And Dan was like, yes. And I was like, is it for 1625? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll play along then. And I am playing Dr. Montgomery Hutchinson, or Dr. Hunch, as they like to call him on the ship, because he doesn't really pay much attention to most medical textbooks. He mostly goes off his gut feeling. And he has joined the ship because he wants to find the next medical mystery alien disease that will get him into the textbooks and prove those back at the medical academy who's really worth it.
Amazing. Love that. Thank you, Nathan. And last but not least, Carl.
Hi, I'm Carl. I am the host of the Tavern Between Dimensions podcast. I will be playing Leif Alvidinium, who is a hotshot pilot. He's risen the ranks on the Raptor, starting off as an ensign and then working his way to a pilot. And one day he hopes to run the Raptor himself. He loves the ship. He knows how to make it work. Any maneuver that it can do, he knows how to do it with pinpoint accuracy, even surprising Captain Darcy sometimes when he makes the ship do something which should seem impossible. Little bit of a rapscallion. He wears his custom issue jumpsuit down, tied around his waist with his normal shirt. But he is better at talking to the ship than he is to people.
Fantastic. Okay, then. Now, the way this game works is it's pretty simple, it being a one-page RPG. Everybody's got one number, one stat. And basically, that stat is going to determine whether you are better at lasers, i.e. sciencey stuff, rational thinking, or at feelings, which is the kind of emotional, social interaction type passionate stuff. There's going to come times when you want to do something a bit risky, and I'm going to ask you to roll 1d6 or possibly more, depending on certain factors that we'll get to. You're going to roll your collection of d6, and basically a success on a die depends on whether you're going for a lasers or a feelings roll. If you're going for a lasers roll, to do something sciencey, you want to roll as low as possible. If you're going for a feelings roll, you want to roll as high as possible. So everybody's chosen a number, and I'm delighted that we've got all different numbers today. You can choose between 2 and 5, and we've got a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5, which is really good fun for me. So and one of the things we have to do before we get started is create our ship, the Raptor, which is the ship you guys are the crew of. So I don't know how many of you have the rules up in front of you, but basically as a group, you're going to need to pick 2 strengths for the Raptor and 1 problem. So possible strengths you can choose are that it is fast, nimble, well-armed, has powerful shields, superior sensors, cloaking device, fighter craft. So you get to pick 2 of those. What do you guys think?
Ooh, I would want to put in for nimble.
I'm going to veto cloaking device because we're not going to hide from our problems that we create for ourselves.
Right, right, okay.
I would like to say superior senses, so at least we can prepare ourselves.
Yep. And Nathan, do you have any votes on this?
I'm not particularly interested in the ship. As long as I've got what I need, that's absolutely fine.
Love it.
I will go with whatever the pilot says.
Okay.
He seems quite in tune with things probably a little bit too closely.
me and the Raptor, we understand each other.
Wow. Okay. So you're nimble and you've got superior sensors, it sounds like. Pretty good. And 1 problem, it could be a fuel hog. So you're always looking for energy crystals. It could be that there is only 1 medical pod, which is currently occupied for reasons we'll get to. It could have horrible circuit breakers, which mean that you basically have to breathe on a console for it to explode. Or your ship has a grim reputation because your captain has done some bad shit in the past.
I mean, as the narrative, I'd love it to be the bad circuit breakers, because then we get that point of stay together, baby, stay together. That's all that's sparking behind us.
That would be fun. What do other people think?
My
I
vote, circuit breakers.
Yeah, go for it then.
Lovely. Oh, you guys are.
We are riding high-speed dynamite.
You are making this a joy for me. Wonderful. So yeah, we've got our characters. The only thing we haven't talked about is your kind of character's goals, but I think probably we can leave that slightly mysterious to begin with, and that will come out of your actions. So just bear the goal you've picked in mind. We've talked about the mechanics of how it's going to work. It's pretty simple. It's the D6 thing, and there's one stat. There's not a huge amount to keep track of there. You can there will come times when you're going to be able to ask me questions, and in almost a bit of a kind of metagamey way. So when you roll, you're going to roll a D6, which is going to give you a number between 1 and 6. Obviously, if you're rolling lasers, you want to roll under your stat. If you're rolling for feelings, you want to roll above your stat. If you roll your stat, so Nathan, you've gone for a 2 for your core stat. If you roll a 2, you've got laser feelings, which means that you get to ask me one question about the situation that I have to answer honestly, right, if not fully. So yeah, it could be anything you like what's really going on here, or what would be the best way for me to do X, Y, Z, or is this possible, or whatever you want, really. So that is another mechanic to be aware of. So the laser feelings may come up. And I think that is basically it. In terms of people watching the stream, we're very grateful for any donations you can offer. We've already got a couple in, which is brilliant. There are some incentives to donate, which are listed in the chat on the Twitch stream at the moment. And basically, you can influence the course of the game in little ways, which are quite fun. We've already got 2 £10 donations, which is incredible. Thomas and Sean, thank you so much. Basically, a £10 donation means that you can force us to re-roll the next success that somebody gets, which is dastardly. Like, thanks. like thank you and thanks. So really the question I wanted to pose, if you did want to drop a note in the Twitch chat, would you like that to be broken down into 2 reroll failures, or would you like to stick to your guns and make my players' lives that much harder? Please and thank you. So see how you feel about it.
I mean, there were 2 £10, so I reckon our first 2 rolls are re-rolled if they're successes, right?
I mean, as it stands, that is the way it works.
Thanks,
yeah.
In the chat. Yeah,
okay, nice. Oh, so it's Dan. It's Dan's first
specifically
success. Okay, noted. Yeah. Thank you. Lovely. All right then. So we're sticking to our guns. Thomas, very good. And yeah, I think unless we hear differently from Sean, we'll assume that is the same situation. Okay. Any final questions before we make a start? We're playing until about 3:10, I believe. So anything anyone wants to ask before we make a start?
No.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so you are the crew for the exploration vessel, the Raptor, cruising around space and dealing with aliens, both friendly and deadly, and defending the consortium worlds against space dangers. Unfortunately, your captain, Captain Darcy, has recently taken ill with some kind of strange psychic space entity, and he is currently recovering in one of the medical pods. So he's out of action. So you guys have been left to your own devices. What are you doing on in your bit of downtime while the captain is having a rest?
Probably maintaining the ship after whatever happened. It was
Right.
It was a pretty tense situation
Mhm.
beforehand. So the Raptor just needs a little bit of love.
Okay, fantastic. So Leaf is doing a bit of engineering on the ship. That's great. Is anyone else up to anything?
I'm probably actually just watching over the captain at the moment, but not
Okay.
in a sort of caring sort of way. More in a just like, while he's a little bit in stasis, maybe I'll just take a little blood here, take a little skin sample here, just in case it's anything else. We don't know. Just
The doctor doing his good work as always.
Of course.
Sample of his brain.
Yeah.
Little biopsy here and there. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
that's
Little
beautiful.
He's a little
Brilliant.
too
Yeah.
Tilda, after you.
I think Catbon is, because the captain is down, they are trying to get access to the captain's secret collection of alien artifacts.
Mm-hmm. Oh right, so it's a secret collection. It's it's behind a hidden door somewhere. You know, it's around here somewhere.
Catbon is convinced it exists.
Okay.
So they are going around like looking for secret panels here and there. And if anyone comes in to ask, like, what are you doing in the captain's quarters? And like, oh yeah, just making sure that there is no dust left over, making sure everything is in tip-top shape when he wakes up. It's fine. I have permission, of course.
Lovely.
In my
Not suspicious at all. Okay. And Mr. Cuddles, what's he up to? They.
Mr. Cuddles is currently looking through various xenobiological textbooks to find out just how far you have to twist the arm of the various alien races to encourage friendly discussion.
Very reassuring. Brilliant. So you are all busy with your repairs and your weird medical studies and your
weird.
search. No, important, crucial, world changing. Everything that you're doing. When suddenly, from one of the consoles, you hear the familiar beep of an incoming transmission, and who goes to check the console? Would it be Leaf, perhaps?
I imagine it'd be Leaf. He walks into the bridge, dumps down this huge broken part of the ship that he's just replaced, walks up to the console and hits the button like, you're through to the Raptor. This is Leaf Ovidium speaking. Can I take a message?
This is an automatic distress signal for sector... And then there's a whole string of numbers. Please attend at your earliest convenience. Please. And then it just loops.
Leaf flicks onto the all ships comms. Guys, there's a distress call coming in. Does anyone else want to come to the bridge and see what's going on?
As Catbon hears this, they just go like, drop whatever they're holding and start running towards the bridge.
Okay, so the fish comes bounding into the fish person bounds into the bridge. Are you wet at all, Catbon? Or no? Okay, just say okay, fair enough. Just a scaly alien.
Not wet as such. It's more like.
Do you have a gill breather?
I do.
That's nice. I like that.
Does
detail.
it blow bubbles out?
Only when I'm really happy.
Yeah, I was going to say only when excited. Love it.
So they
okay.
are away. They're not wet, but slightly moist.
Slightly moist at all times. Right. So, yeah, anybody else joining Leif and Catbon in the bridge?
There will definitely be very heavy thunking steps as Mr. Cuddles walks into the bridge, and upon hearing the distress signal says, "Who is it that needs to be shot? I mean, spoken to."
No idea, friend, but they're in, and he brings up a hollow map. It's like, they're in this segment here.
Yeah. What does the doctor make of all of this?
I hear it and go,
That seems in character. Yes. So as a collective team, what do you decide to do? Are you following this distress signal?
My cardboard is looking like, follow them, let's go there, let's go.
Leaf, you notice in the code of the message, the distress signal is coming from a ship whose name you don't particularly recognise. Why would you? There's many ships flying around in this sector, but it's the sort of the registrations and everything on it show that it is some kind of courier type vessel, and the distress signal seems to imply that it is set stationary at the point where the beacon is coming from.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, strap in. We're going to do a bit of a hard burn.
Oh, you're doing a hard burn?
Doing a hard burn.
Oh, lovely. That sounds like a lasers roll to me. If you want to get there real quick, give me a lasers roll, please.
Oh, wow.
Right. So you do want to roll low on lasers.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
So your stat is actually a 4.
That's
so
correct, yeah.
That is a perfectly great lasers roll. Unfortunately, we have had a very generous benefactor who has given us a reroll for a success. One of them's for Dan, but the other one is for you, I'm afraid, Carl. So I'm going to need you to re-roll.
Excuse me while I assume emergency crash maneuvers.
Leaf hits the lever, nothing happens for a second, and he whacks the control panel, and... Did that roll? That did not roll. He gets a 5!
Okay, it's a failure!
Oh no.
I love it when a plan does not come together. So, Leaf punches it, and immediately something flies off the ship and starts spinning off into space. Not a good start.
We don't need it.
You collect yourself and punch it again, and off you go. And so, it doesn't take you long. It's not terribly far away. What kind of speed are you going at, just out of interest? Do you kind of zipping over there?
3G.
3G. Pretty fast, I guess.
Yeah, that's enough. It's enough to be uncomfortable.
Sure.
Okay, then. Slightly.
Dr. Hunch is going to run in to the bay now and just kind of go like, What's happening now? There's blood all over the floor now, and that's not the captain's blood. It's completely unrelated blood. But now, because of what you're doing, can I ask what's going on now?
Well, we're going to do a distress. We're going to do a distress beacon. We're going to save a ship. We're going to be heroes. We're going to get medals, and all things are good. I'd recommend strapping in, Doc. We don't want your medical brain splattered all over the floor. So.
Oh my goodness! Thank you. We've had a £20 donation. That is incredible. Yes.
You, Staff.
Oh, staff, you are a legend. Thank you so much. £20 gets somebody a laser feelings. If you would like to drop in the chat which character you would like to have that boon, that would be great.
I'll ask him.
Yeah. So we've got a laser feelings from staff. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Okay, so carry on as you were.
So just strap in, Doc, because we want nothing bad happening to your brain there, just in case anything happens to us. We don't want to end up like the captain now.
He sort of grumbles and sits himself down.
So Leaf, as you're approaching the location, are you kind of approaching cautiously? Are you just burning in there and like screeching to a halt at the location?
Once he gets close, he starts pulling back the throttle so they can see what the situation looks like before they move in.
Okay, fantastic. So you ease off the gas a little bit, as it were, and as you approach, you've got pretty good long range sensors, so you can actually get a good look at the situation before you get in too close. So what you see on the sensors is you've got this vessel, which is indeed the vessel that you've had the distress signal from. and it appears to be sort of lifeless in hanging in space. Close by to it, you've also got a smaller vessel, which looks a lot more tactical military type vessel, which is also hanging stationary in space. So what do you do?
I would like to press a few buttons on one of the consoles tentatively because it keeps on sparking to scan for life forms aboard the ship.
Which ship?
The courier ship, sorry.
The courier ship. Okay, so I would like you to make a lasers roll, please. You want to roll lower than a 5. Brilliant. Oh, no, not brilliant.
Oh,
no. So...
My apologies. I was accidentally searching for targets for extermination.
You realise that the bit that just flew off the ship back there was the bit that scans for life forms.
Woe is me.
So, unfortunately, you're not quite sure who's on the ships from this distance. But one thing you do get to see on the sensors is that the courier ship appears to have some scorch marks on its hull.
Sorry, could I very quickly veto?
Of course.
Proxy Table Gaming, who donated, they're not able to be watching the stream right now, but
Right.
I don't know if it's how visible it is, but I have been told that although it's tempting not to choose me, staff would in fact like to give me the laser feelings.
Oh, very sweet. Okay, so Dan, instead of a sheer failure, you now have laser feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that means it is a success. Which I might make you re-roll, I'm not sure, but actually, no, a laser feelings is a laser feelings. Go ahead. You get a success, which means that you do get to scan the life forms and you get to ask me a question on top of that. So do you want to hear how many life forms there are before you ask your question?
Yes, please.
You detect 3 life forms aboard the courier ship.
And with the scans, do I detect any kind of significant damage that would make things a bit more complicated if we were to board the ship?
So is that your question for me?
Yes.
Yeah, is there anything that would make boarding the courier ship dangerous? That's a good question. Depending on how you define dangerous, no, not really. Air seems breathable. There's no chunks of the hull hanging off, so things would just float out into space. It's still whole, still seems to be functioning.
Cool. My titanium hull can withstand the vacuum of space. Tough luck, meat bags.
Brilliant. Okay, then. So that's what we've got. So you've got ship hanging in space, a little vessel, sort of quite close to it. 3 life forms on board. Catbon, what do you make of all this? What do you want to do?
Catbon is already going. They're already going towards the.
You're getting suited up. Like, when are we going?
You're already partially suited up, and just putting on the helmet. Like, is anyone else coming with me, or am I going on my own? I can go on my own. It's not a problem.
Are you spacewalking there? Because we're not close enough yet.
If you jump fast enough.
No resistance in space. You could just launch yourself at it.
Line up the airlock and
just swim.
What do you guys think? Catbon's keen. Who's going over?
Yeah, I as the ship's assigned first contact diplomacist, I'm also keen to make first contact with whatever's on the ship.
Okay, so Catbon and Mr. Cuddles. Who else is going?
Yeah, Leaf starts suiting up and grabs a pistol, which he tucks away in his sort of in its holster.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Hunch, are you passing up this opportunity to explore potentially dangerous situations, or are you sticking with the captain?
I think now that he knows that there's sort of life forms on board, he's a little bit more interested. And he's like, bodies.
Beautiful. So you're leaving your ship unattended, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Well,
I mean,
that is not entirely true. The captain is still aboard the ship.
Okay, that is very true indeed. So, okay, you guys are welcome to suit up, with the exception of Mr. Cuddles, who cares not about the cold embrace of space.
Plus the Raptor, she can look after herself, can you, baby?
I'm assuming, Leif, that you as the pilot have some kind of ability to sort of communicate with the ship systems when you're at a bit of a distance.
Oh yeah, he's got like a console that he keeps on all the time that keeps an update on what's happening on the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Tilda.
Before we board the ship, did Cat1 actually find anything in a captain's quarters?
Not yet, but there was a light sconce on the wall that looked very pullable that you were just reaching for when you got called out to the bridge by the distress beacon.
Can I argue that because they went to suit up way before anyone else, as they see other people come and start suiting up, they go like, I almost forgot, and they rush all the way back to grab it.
Now, it seems like you're a bit emotional at the moment because of your desperate desire to find the captain's secret stash of alien artifacts. Could you do me a feelings roll, please?
Yes, I
Tilda? Can. So you're looking to roll above a 3. Okay. You rush into the captain's quarters like, right, I've got a minute, and you sneak over to that sconce. You go, and it breaks away in your hand. And you're like, well, shit.
Oops! And just throws it behind their back.
Okay. So you rush back to. You're going to have to figure out a different way to get into that. What if that is the secret door? But yeah, you rush back to the airlock, and everybody's suited up, waiting for you.
Do our spacesuits? Do our awaiting spacesuits have like those kind of fishbowl helmets?
Yes, sure.
Cool. Is my one slightly square to go over? Like an actual square fish tank.
What do you need it?
Well, it's to help with the diplomacy, you know.
For the look of
relatability, you know. It's
matching outfits. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I look like you. You then?
Look at my smiling face.
So you guys are, Leif, are you manoeuvring the ship so that you kind of can dock with?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay then. Very good. You do that pretty easily, and you're gonna be entering the ship. Are you doing anything to prepare before you go aboard?
I'll turn to the crew. As we take these first few steps into the great unknown, please be aware that in the case of violence, it would be preferable to be hit directly, so your pain is considerably less and your end comes quicker. It makes it cleaner and tidier for the doctor.
Thank you, Mr. Cuddles.
I
didn't program that to him. I didn't program it at all.
I just want you to know, Cuddles, as much as I appreciate you, I have no plan on dying today.
That's what you think.
Brilliant. Okay.
Motivational speech has ended.
So you guys ready to get on the ship?
Yep.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Okay then. So you go into the airlock. It seals behind you, and who's at the front? Who's like punching the button to enter the ship? It's you. Okay, cat bomb. Yes. Okay. So you press the button to enter the ship, and the doors open, and you step inside. So what you see in front of you is not entirely encouraging. You see this corridor ahead of you with blinking lights. There is a sort of yellow alert siren, so there's yellow flashing lights filling the hallway, and a kind of not oppressively loud but fairly insistent kind of sound going off. There's nothing moving in this corridor, but you do see a few kind of smears of blood here and there, but there's no signs of life just where you are right now. What do you guys do?
Oh, the doctor's already grabbing some swabs of that. I'll have that. Thank you.
Okay.
Later.
For later. Okay, fantastic. Yes.
If we find a access terminal, I could link it to the Raptor, and we can maybe find out what happened.
Okay, so you're looking for an access terminal. Wonderful. What else? What's everyone else doing?
I would. So we know there's 3 life forms on board. I mean, I'm hoping if we head to like the command deck, we might be able to kind of. Well, we have the control terminal. We might find the three life forms. Looking at the blood, it seems that they've already started the party without us.
Yep.
Yes. Catbon, did we hear from you yet? Sorry.
Cadbon, as soon as the doors opened, they did like a beautiful ballet jump into the ship, and now it's touching everything.
You're just touching everything, are you? Including the blood, like.
But not they touch just words are like, ew. Everyone.
All right, so Catbon's doing some unnecessary ballet. The doctor's taking swabs. Sounds like Leaf is looking for an access terminal, and that's kind of in line with what Mr. Cuddles is doing, because you're looking for the bridge, essentially, whatever passes for a bridge on a little courier ship like this. You realise that most likely the bridge isn't going to be very far away. It's going to be up the corridor. There's a couple of twists and turns to get there. But if this is a kind of standard issue kind of courier ship, then you know it should be somewhere further along the corridor. So who's making their way up there? Okay. Yeah. Is everybody going? Or you sticking in one group? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. As you round a corner, you are faced with another similar looking corridor, only this corridor has 2 hunched sort of figures slumped against the corridor walls at various points. Heavily armoured figures who are not moving. So...
Greetings, meatbags. We are here to save you.
There is no response to your greeting.
They do not seem particularly conversational.
At this point, Cadbon does bounce up, and they start knocking on one of the helmets. Hello, hello, hello.
Maybe we should leave that to Hunch there, Catbon.
Yeah, can we tell if they're actually human, or are they too big to like be human?
No, they are perfectly human-sized. Yeah.
Boring. Well.
Is anyone examining?
I will examine them. I will take
figures.
off. I will take off a helmet.
Okay,
maybe.
so you take off a helmet. It is a human face, a rather gruff-looking male human face, probably in their 30s or 40s, with a sort of nose broken long ago. And as you're kind of looking over the body, you see an insignia on the armor, which is kind of 2 Zs interlinking with one another.
Is that like an insignia that we know about? Like, is it a common one, or?
I think it's probably something you're going to need to roll for to see if you recognize this insignia. Now, I've realized if we're doing a roll, I have neglected to mention one of the mechanics of lasers and feelings, which I do apologize for, and it shall apply from now on. It isn't always 1d6 that you roll. You can roll more d6 depending on whether you are prepared for the action you're attempting. And you can roll another d6 if you're an expert. So earlier when you punched it, you should have rolled more d6 earlier, Leaf, and I do apologise for that. That's right. It's my mistake. But so that is a mechanic that to bear in mind. So I will be trying to decide how many d6 you can roll.
Could I access my installed databases of known factions within the galaxy?
As a protocol droid, you probably are an expert on insignia and identities and the like. So you are perfectly welcome to roll 3d6.
It's a repurposed database because it was used as a database for knowing each race's weaknesses. Like in battle, but now it's used to just kind of know about them. So
do we feel this is a lasers or a feelings roll? Is it a sciencey, rational? It's quite a rational thing you're doing right now. You're looking up information. So do it as a science roll, and you get to roll 3d6.
Hey, bam!
Right. So
3 successes.
You're trying to go low, so you've got 3 successes. Your stat is 5. In fact, so you've got 1 laser feelings and 2 successes. So in fact, overall, this is a great success. As they say.
Doesn't Dan need to reroll one of them?
Oh,
you do need to reroll one of them. Thank you, Tilda.
Oh no! To be fair, I'll reroll the laser feelings.
Okay.
Okay, 3 successes.
Still, it's 3 successes. Wonderful. Okay then. So that means it is a critical success, which means you get to succeed on the action and you get an extra effect from it. So you run this sort of double Z insignia through your database, and it comes up pretty quickly. This insignia is the insignia of the dread twin space pirate captains Maya and Franco Zord, who have, and your extra information you have is that you have heard reports recently that they have been terrorizing the sector, and they've been kind of doing hits on the outer consortium planets and space stations. They seem to have been raiding science stations, in particular laboratories and the like. You know that recently a famous scientist was kidnapped by the Zords. So that is so this appears to be a member of the captain's Zord sort of military personnel.
Okay. In which case, I will relay that information to the rest of the team, and the emoji face on my TV screen will do the kind of the smirk, and at the thought of knowing that there may or may not be armed people on this ship, in the name of diplomacy, I will. My leg plate opens up, a laser blaster comes out, and just when I thought this day could not get any better.
Beautiful. So there's 2 of these sort of Zord commandos slumped in the corridor. Did you want to do anything else with them, Dr. Hunch?
Yeah. Is it obvious that they're dead, or is there a possibility of me looking and seeing if they are still alive?
You can check if you wish. This sounds like, I mean, this sounds kind of like a lasers roll because you're trying to do medicine on them, and you do have a 2. So you want to roll below a 2 to succeed on this.
Can I have another one because this is my job?
Hang on, you're an expert, so you get 3. You get 3 chances.
Yay! Let's see.
Somehow it's your job with that stat. So you're really good at failing at being a doctor.
Okay, here we go.
Come on.
Oh,
you do get a laser feelings out of it, though. I'll tell you what, that is good. So right, so what you get from you don't do the best job of leaving him intact, but it's okay because your assessment reveals he was already dead.
Right.
What would you like to ask me?
What would be a good question, guys?
What did he die of?
That's probably a pretty good question, actually.
Yeah. What can I tell what he died of?
Yeah, once you start investigating and you're pulling bits of armor off and chunks of get that hand out of the way and things like that. you're expecting to find some like blaster burns or something, right? Because
something that dull.
some some enforcers, like soldiers get on a ship, the crew presumably resists, a firefight ensues. None of that.
Yeah,
What you find is some really nasty, deep claw marks that have actually ripped through the armor and are sort of raked across this poor guy's abdomen, and he's bled out.
Cool. Definitely taking some swabs then. Swab that.
Okay.
I'll let everyone know after
Sure.
I've taken the swabs, but I will just kind of say, by the way,
what exactly do you let them know?
Well, I mean, if they're pretty big, I'm surely like, after I've deduced everything about this body, I think it's these bloody big scratch marks that might have been the reason why this chap is no longer with us.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, goody.
Carbon will go up and try to take a closer look.
Yeah. So
your finger in the wound.
Oh.
But
I'm already joining in.
question, Julia.
Yeah.
Would we know if the air is breathable?
I mean, you could tell me how you're going to try and find out.
I asked the doctor.
Do I know?
How are you going to try and find out, Doctor? Do you have an instrument for that? Do you take your helmet off?
I would say that I would have a scanner that would test whether or not the air is breathable.
The air is breathable in here. Yeah.
Okay. The air is breathable.
So Carbon's going to take off their helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to use their little catfish-like whiskers to kind of scent around the wound.
Sorry, you're going to scent around the wound. You get in there real close. Is it you looking for what you can deduce about?
Basically, they're trying to check if they can smell anything they smelled before in another planet. Because they are explorers. They have seen a lot of things.
Okay, so you tell me, how many dice are you rolling for this? Would you say you are prepared for
I am
this
not
kind
prepared,
of...
but I think I am an expert.
You've smelled a lot of things, is what I'm hearing. You can roll 2d6 for this.
Actually, I'm going to say I am always prepared.
You were born prepared.
Keep being awesome. I have nothing prepared.
I mean, I don't know. Are you an expert on injuries from big claws? Like, is it?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they have seen their fair share of injuries when they just, run into severe situations.
Okay, I'm just having a quick think. Okay, why not? Roll 3d6, and is this lasers or feelings?
I would say lasers.
Yeah, because you're doing a kind of rational. Let's have a see what this is kind of thing.
Let's think about this.
Let's think about this rationally. Okay.
Yeah, also, you don't hear any sniffing, but you see the whiskers going.
Yeah, I think you are clearly enjoying this, but maybe that is by the by. 3d6, please, and it's lasers, so you want to roll lower than your stat of 3.
Okay.
Right. So that is that's one success. No. In fact, it's one. It's one laser feelings. You do sort of only. You sort of 2 successes means, one success means you barely manage it, but you will get a special insight into the situation. So you have a really good little whisker sniff at these wounds, and you get the scent of some kind of beast animal, but you can't place it. But you're pretty sure that whatever did this wasn't some kind of battle robot. It wasn't probably wasn't even a humanoid. It was some kind of full-on like wild animal, but you don't know what. And you get a whiff of something else, something chemical, but again, you can't place it.
Ooh, okay. So they're just standing there. They're friendly animal like, but also kind of chemical.
Leaf pulls his pistol, triggers the safety, and is like, "Well, I guess diplomacy's out then."
Do you want to ask me a question, Tilda?
Yes. I think the question is going to be: so I don't know what kind of animal, but can I place the planet they sense it on?
How would you do that?
I don't know.
So you're asking me what planet? It's hard to say. Some kind of planet that has some kind of fairly arid terrain, probably. Yeah, it's somehow you're getting kind of not that this smell, but that smell, it's not coming off the animal directly, but it's similar to animal smells that you've smelled that came from kind of more deserty, kind of arid type planets. Is probably what I'll give you. Yeah,
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, like I say, you've not smelled this one before. It's just similar to some others.
At which point, Carbon is gonna go a bit reddish in hue.
Oh, brilliant! Okay, thank you. We have a donation from Mr. Cuddles, apparently. For £5, which is reroll a failure, which is nice of you. Is that for you?
No. The note, it's I want to make our lives more difficult. So that's a reroll failure for you, Julia. If you ever need it.
Thanks. Thank you for that.
You gave it to the DM.
That's weird because in this game I don't roll, but
if you do, you can reroll it if it's a failure.
I can reroll. Thank you. That is really very kind of you.
Mr. Cuddles, why?
Mr. Cuddles, why?
Traitor.
I thrive on chaos.
There was one other thing you were just about to say, Catbon.
I forgot what it was.
Fair enough. Right. So, armed with this information, are you forging on for the bridge?
Yeah, I think we should get to the bridge because then we can find out where everything is on the ship, including the life forms.
Okay then.
Yeah. Off the back of information about the size of these creatures and whatnot, in dubious elation, this sounds like it's a 2-pistol job, as I get a blaster into my other hand from my other leg.
Okay then. So you make it into the bridge. So Leif, you're going to go straight for a console, the sort of the most likely console that's going to give you the information you need. What are you trying to find out?
Trying to get the ship, basically get the sensors on the ship working so we can find out exactly where the 3 remaining life forms are, and if they match the description that the Doc and Catborn has given, or if they are survivors.
Brilliant. Okay, so what I want you to do is probably give me a lasers check to log into, or sort of hack into, essentially. Everything's a bit flashy and woo-wooey, so you're going to need to sort of try and access this panel with which, because it's a bit security protected. So give me it's a lasers roll. Have you done this kind of thing before?
I was going to argue for myself to only have 2 in this one. He's prepared.
You're prepared, but you're not an expert at this particular.
It's not the Raptor.
It's not the Raptor. Okay, so roll me 2d6 for lasers. Trying to get
4 and a 6. So 1 laser feelings, and that's a success, I think.
No, you want to go higher with feelings rolls.
That's it. You're right. So one failure, 1 laser feelings.
1 failure, 1 laser feelings. Okay, so you got 1 success. You do it just just barely. You managed to get in just long enough to find out the first bit of information you wanted before the system is going to chuck you back out again. So remind me what you were asking for?
To get these sensors online to discover where the 3 life forms, whether or not they were survivors or the creatures.
Okay, right. So with your kind of the roles you got there, you see the sort of map of the ship with the life signs long enough to ascertain that they're sort of a bit they're a bit scattered about, to be honest. So one of them is in a room marked laboratory. One of them is in a kind of sort of like a cleaning cupboard back down the corridor. And another one is in a position that doesn't make any sense. It looks like it's between 2 walls or something, sort of off in another part of the ship. But then you are booted out of the system.
Console blows up into sparks.
Basically, yeah. But you've got the approximate locations of the three life forms, although you couldn't figure out quick enough what was human and what was not. In fact, the system wasn't telling you that at all.
So we got the lab. We got it was the lab, the
lab, the cleaning cupboard.
That was it.
And then somewhere bizarre that something shouldn't be.
I imagine, Doc, you want to check out the lab first.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Did you want to ask me a question? Because I believe you got a laser feelings for that one. Yeah, ask me a general question about the situation.
Do I get the impression that we're in trouble?
That life form that wasn't in a logical space that should be occupiable on the ship troubles you. Like, what's going on there? Is that someone in trouble, or is that something that is trouble? Yeah.
Doc and Catbon, you got a weapon? Because I'd recommend cocking it and getting it out.
Captain said I'm not allowed a weapon. Can I have a weapon?
Okay, so everybody starts the game with a bit of equipment. You've got your consortium uniform on, which you've got communicators, so you can talk to each other. They're sort of communicatory, scannery things. And you do have a variable beam phase pistol, which is currently set to stun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Carbon is aware of this.
Yeah.
But they're just saying like, oh no, the captain said I'm not allowed a weapon.
Well, let's face it, the captain ain't here right now. So arm up and get shooting.
I brought a spare, and I'll hand you a variable beam pistol if you haven't already got one.
Carbon turns a bit redder, and the bubbles start to appear.
I imagine, Doc, your best weapon is to make sure they're dead once we sort of get them to a state, right?
My weapon is Mr. Cuddles, so I don't know.
I am the weapon.
Exactly.
All right, well, Cuddles is your packing twice the heat. Do you want to go first and take us to the laboratory?
Absolutely. Let us go forth in the name of diplomacy. And I will stomp through the ships using the directions given to us to the laboratory.
Yeah, okay then. So as you're approaching the laboratory, you hear a kind of muffled coming from a door that you, Leaf, recognise as being the cleaning cupboard door that you saw on the map earlier. What do you do?
Imagine I get everyone pointing their guns at the door as Leaf sort of like opens it and everyone's like...
You can't put at this point with 2.
Where did you get this? Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yep. What is Dr. Hunch doing to prepare? Thank you. Had a voice in my ear tell me we had a Yes, it is. It's a complication roll. Thank you. That's brilliant. So, so what's the doctor doing? Are you just stepping behind Mr. Cuddles?
I'm just stepping behind Mr. Cuddles, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Cuddles, what's
Okay, so if the doors swing open, we're all like two of us are double gun pointing into this broom cupboard. Whatever's in it, I will, as the door opens, I will say, welcome to the consortium. We mean you no harm. That's a laser gun's charge up.
So the doors are opening. We've got this robot saying, "We come in peace. We mean you no harm," and all the guns pointed through the door at this poor chap. This guy, just like in this cupboard, looking utterly terrified already, who just goes and falls backwards and knocks over a mop and a bucket. And he's like, "Oh no, please don't shoot me, please!"
I apologize about him. He doesn't know how to read the situation.
This guy just looks utterly panicked.
If it makes you feel better, we thought you were a horrifying alien monster. That is my fault entirely. I do apologize. My name is Leaf. We're with the Raptor of the consortium.
You've seen the monster? And he looks at you, all panicked.
No,
we've smelled the monster.
And we've seen what the monster can do, but we've not seen it per se.
You don't know where it is right now. It's still out there. And he looks around.
Well, it's either in the laboratory or it's in the walls.
And he looks at you and goes, "The laboratory. The laboratory! You have to help. They broke onto the ship. They came for the samples. You have to help."
Samples? We must do what he says. Come on, let's go.
Said, "I can't. They slaughtered everybody else. I hid in here. I feel awful about it. But then the monster, it got free, and it's somewhere around the ship. You have to help."
Julia?
Yes.
Can I smell him?
All right. Are you doing this out of pure rationality, or are you doing it a bit for the thrill?
No, this is a gut feeling. Like,
it's a real. You're going with your gut.
You know about the monster, do you?
Okay, so this
you
is
want to go to the laboratory, do you?
You lean in with your whiskers flickering at him, and I want you to give me a feelings roll. Tell me, are you prepared for this? I suspect you are because you've been.
I am prepared, but I am no expert.
You're no expert. Fine. Give me 2d6 feelings roll. You want to roll above a 3?
Fuck me.
Oh boy!
Oh, no.
Double
Snake eyes.
1. He outright panics and slaps you in the face and goes, "Get away from me!
Ow!
And
that hurt. That hurt
because
really
you've
badly.
got really sensitive whiskers, that's like
Yes.
you're ringing. You know, like when your ears ring because you've been like clapped around the ears or something. That's like that, but with your whiskers, like and you know you're not smelling properly for another few minutes, probably.
Once again, scales went perfectly great. Yeah, they are like, oh.
Once again,
yes.
I apologize. They do not know they don't know when the right time to do stuff is in the right situation. So I do apologize about them.
Sorry, what is Mr. Cuddles doing right now?
Aggression detected.
What's he talking about?
Because my guns are set to stun because I'm not allowed to have them turned up any higher because I'm the diplomacy droid. But I will put 2 lots of like 8,000 volts into this man. Just double barrel into this poor guy in the broom cupboard.
Is this? Is this a lasers or a feelings roll? Do we think?
I think he's enjoying it way too much for not to be a feelings.
Yeah,
one.
I think Mr. Cuddles has a mean streak, and I think this might be a bit of a this is an excuse.
Well, I want to shoot the bad guys. That's my thing, and he's just this stranger just smacked the catfish.
Okay.
So sweet. I mean, he's now a bad guy, right? Because he's
sure.
He threw the first punch.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna cash in my complication here. If you want to do that, I won't make you roll. However, he has a heart attack right there.
Oh no!
Okay.
You're not getting any more information out of this guy unless you act really quickly.
Oh no,
Well, I'll zap him and then I'll look really content with myself.
As he starts convulsing and struggling to breathe and starts slumping up back against the shelves of the cupboard.
Please cooperate.
Dark, Dark, I think we need to save this man quickly. And he pushes Doc into the room.
I was very preoccupied with trying to get Mr. Cuddles going, we're going to the lab. Come on, samples. Come on. And then Leaf pushes me and I'm just like, fine. And I will start performing CPR.
Now, how are you performing CPR? Are you doing it by the book or are you doing it with your own special Dr. Hunch spin?
I'm doing it, obviously with my own special spin. They kind of say that you have to do it to a beat. I think you have to do it to a certain rhythm. So really sort of like a mumba rhythm, I think gets the heart going a bit better. No one believed me in the academy, but...
I'm so tempted to make this a feelings roll since you're just sort of, it's like jazz, you know?
Yeah.
The way you do it. So you are an expert and were you prepared given how distracted you were just now by the tantalizing prospect of samples? No. 2d6, please.
Okay.
And it is a feelings roll, so you want to get above a 2. So... you did it! You did it! So that's 2 successes, which is a success, and you get to ask me a question. So you go in with your kind of BGs, like, yeah, this is how you do it, definitely.
To be fair, that is actually the proper medical way to do it. So I'm doing some more like
but you're also stopping occasionally to do like the actions and stuff. So
yeah, of course,
not quite by the book. So, yes, because we're in a sci-fi game, I'm not going to make you actually apply the electrodes or anything, which you'd actually need to restart somebody's heart. However, I think just somehow the CPR does it, and he kind of stabilizes. He kind of goes, and he's clearly not very well.
I will lean in and thank you for your cooperation.
What would you like to ask, Nathan?
Can I ask him what the samples are? What are they of?
So you can't ask him anything. It's a question for me, the DM.
Okay, fair enough.
So you could ask him that next if you wanted, but yeah.
Do we have an idea of who he's part of? Like, is he part of any sort of?
Yeah, okay, that's an easy one. This guy is wearing a fairly kind of standard issue looking grey overalls. He's probably a member of like the crew of this courier vessel. Do
we have an idea of any like status or anything on the vessel he might
grey, probably not very special, probably maintenance or something like that.
Right.
Probably why he knew to go and hide in this particular cupboard.
Fair enough.
So yeah, he's a bit of a grunt, but he clearly knows enough about what the mission of the ship was that he knows there's something very important in the lab that it might be being compromised as we speak.
Cool.
Okay.
I am going to say while this is happening. Catbone is having a sulk.
Okay.
And they wandered off towards the lab.
Okay, Catbone, you're wandering off towards the lab. Okay.
So
your whiskers are still ringing, so you
basically they are trying.
You're
to
not
shake
smelling much right now.
Yeah, they're not trying to smell. This is them kind of shaking the feeling out of it.
Okay, then. Yes, absolutely. So as you are walking towards the lab, you hear a low growl coming from somewhere around you. You're not entirely sure where. What do you do?
They go, ooh, and they start looking for it.
All right. Back at the cupboard, I like to think Dr. Hunch is just kind of slapping the guy occasionally as he's what's in the lab? I don't want to speak for you, but like you're doing your thing with this poor maintenance guy.
Well, if I can tell that he is sort of just some bog standard maintenance guy, I'm obviously quite upset that I've had to waste my time on keeping him alive. So now that I know that he is alive, I can go right, and I'm following Captain down the road.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going after.
Yes, I'm just like, yes, that's what I've been saying. Let's go.
Okay, so you head off. Mr. Cuddles and Leaf, what do you guys do at this point?
Leaf looks at the guy. It's like, don't forget to thank your nearest consortium representation for helping you today. It's the Raptor. It's called the Raptor. Remember that. And he goes running after Catbon.
In which case, as the designated consortium representative, I'll bring up one of those like green face, yellow face, red face customer surveys. You get like, and just offer him the opportunity before I leave. How would you rate your interaction with consortium personnel today?
He just kind of reaches out a shaking finger, and he kind of gives you right in the middle, just the average.
I will look at him and shake my head ever so slowly. I like cycle to the side so it's in front of the green button.
And he sighs and presses it.
Thank you for your feedback.
Do you just close the doors to the
Close the door on him,
Keep this poor guy to it. All right then. Fantastic. Right. So Catbon,
Yes.
you have a little look for this where this growling's coming from, but you don't find anything. And the doctor comes running up behind you. Leaf is running up behind him. What are you gonna mention it, or are you gonna carry on?
Yeah, as soon as the doctor is there, like, I heard a growl. It was very exciting. I can't find it. Can you please help?
How do you guys react?
Sorry, did you just say you heard a growl?
Yeah,
Did you just say you heard a growl?
I did. So excited.
A growl, did you hear?
It is coming from, and they just gestured everywhere. Direction.
In that case, Leaf is going to use his encyclopedic knowledge of the way ships are designed to try and figure out if there's any maintenance tunnels or cavities in these certain types of ships.
So you do know about this kind of stuff, don't you? Being a ship pilot with an interest in the structure of ships, apparently. Would we say you are prepared for this role?
I'm going to say no, because it's sort of like, it's a panic. He's probably an expert, but he's not prepared.
Okay, you're an expert but not prepared. Give me 2d6. You're trying to roll under a 4.
It is a 4 and a 1.
Oh, okay. So actually, I'd say probably that you've got one success there, which is also a laser feelings. So what that gives you is the knowledge that you spot pretty quickly a vent, sort of close-ish to the ceiling next to you, which probably does lead into like a grate that probably does lead into the vents around the ship, which could account for why you saw something where something shouldn't really be. Perhaps it was in a vent space between two rooms or something like that. Yeah. And what's your question for me?
I think my question was going to be: Is it using the vents? Is it in the walls?
Please, let it be using the vents.
It's 100% using the vents. Yes.
Like, Leaf points his gun up towards the vents, like, guys, it's using the vents to get around. It could be anywhere on the ship at any time, so you need to keep your eyes aware. My accent keeps changing, and I don't know why. I got a problem. My universal translator, it seems.
Yeah, that's it. As you say that, and you're pointing your gun up at the grate, you hear the tinkling of glass from behind the lab door, just up the corridor from you. What do you do?
Ooh, start walking towards it.
Okay. Yeah. So you're approaching.
Yeah, I'm approaching.
Yeah.
I will protect you and your fragile, meaty bodies with the power of friendship.
All right then. So, who's going in? Who's opening the door first?
So okay. I was about to say
Catbon.
Catbon.
So it's actually Catbon, but I assume everybody else is. Are you positioning yourselves a particular way, or you just wandering in?
No. I think we're prepared.
Okay.
I mean, Catbon is opening the door, but they're holding both guns, and they're trying to do it with their elbow.
With the elbow. All right.
No, you press the button. No, the button. The button on the side there, Catbon.
Yeah. This one.
Okay. So, you open up the door to the lab, and a heavily armed man looks up in surprise as he's holding a couple of test tubes and goes, "Oi, who are you?" And you see the familiar double Z logo on his armor.
Yeah, at which point Catbon just throws the guns behind them, sorry. And like, oh, are those test tubes?
He looks down and goes, "Yeah, but
and as he's looking down, Catbon starts moving towards him very quickly, like, gimme.
Okay, so he's gonna drop them just onto the table in front of him, and he goes for his gun. What do you do?
I don't care. I'm going for the test tubes.
You're going, okay, all right then.
I'm also going for the test tubes. I'm like, no,
Okay.
don't drop them.
Leaf. Takes a breath and I imagine starts shooting.
Okay. And Mr. Cuddles?
Wait, can't we talk this through? And I will reach for like a nearby chair and launch it across the room.
Okay.
We
are so bad at this.
So let's go with Mr. Cuddles first. You're launching a chair across the room, presumably at the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this feels like a sort of, it feels like a feelings roll to me. You're not an expert, I'm guessing, at throwing chairs as improvised weapons? Would you say you're prepared for flinging a chair?
Am I prepared for violence? That's debatable.
For violence, maybe, but yeah. But
I mean, this is a shock and awe. You know, it's a statement piece.
I think this is a bit of an improvised action. I'm going to ask you to roll 1d6 for feelings, please. So you want to roll above a 5?
Oh God.
Oh no!
Oh, okay. So the chair
if
flings.
Only someone donated, and not for Julia.
The chair flings a little bit wide, and he kind of goes, "Oh my God!" And Leaf, as that's happening, you're shooting. You're the pilot. You're not a soldier. So I'm assuming this is not your area of expertise.
No,
as such. Okay. But you feel fairly prepared for it though. Like,
yeah, he was
had your gun out and everything.
Hovering with the finger on the trigger. So, but no means an expert.
I need 2d6, and I'm guessing because you're ass kicking here, it's a feelings roll. So you wanna get above a 4.
That's the 2 and a 2. So no shot goes
no
wide.
Dice, no dice. 2 shots go wide. So that gives this guy a little bit of time to react. The other 2 of you are just diving for the test tubes. Presumably, are you having a little squabble over them, or what?
Well, you're trying to say whatever is in them. Can I argue for trying to rolling for catching the tube?
Yes, you certainly can. This feels like a feelings roll to me. Would you say you're prepared for this one?
Oh no.
No. Just 1d6 then. Rolling above a 3. Hey! Okay, so with ironically cat-like grace, you spin forward, reaching and manage to catch this test tube upright before it smashes on on the ground. And Dr. Hunch, are you going for the other one, perhaps?
Yep, I'll go for the other one.
Okay, then. So you're actually pretty good at feelings. So I think you are also doing a 1d6 feelings roll for me.
Just the one.
Yep, that's right. That is your stat. So that's a laser feeling. So you succeed. Nice. You're gonna dive forward and catch this precious test tube of samples or whatever it is. Not sure yet. And you can ask me a question about the situation.
Can I tell what's actually in the test tubes? Can I tell? Can I have an idea of what the samples actually are of?
So you're pretty sure that this is some kind of sample that is potentially a bit hazardous. It's got one of those little biohazard labels on it. And in fact, there are biohazard labels pretty much all over this lab on various different fridges and cupboards and stuff. So yeah, you're pretty sure that whatever it is, it's something you don't want on you, probably. That's probably all you'd get from that moment.
Okay, everyone, just be very careful around all of the test tubes around here. Very dangerous.
Okay.
He's doing this before
and
or after
not because I just want to take them all.
Actually, as the doctor says this, Cardboard is going to turn to the armed man next to us.
Well, yeah, this guy's going to get a reaction in before you can do that. So he's had a chair thrown sort of towards him. 2 shots have gone wide. His reaction is his gun. He stops reaching for his gun and he goes to a comm device on his chest, and he yells, "Backup required! Backup required!" Before you can do anything else.
Cool.
So, what did you want to do, Catbomb?
Catbomb will turn to him and go into lecturing mode. Like, these are very important test tubes. You don't just throw them down, and just goes into a whole safety protocol, lecturing mode. Like, why you don't just throw them down, especially when there are biohazard stickers everywhere and weren't you trained properly. This is not how you deal with anything. It's just very, very, very annoyed, slightly yellowish at this point. But it's okay. I can teach you more about safety protocols. Just listen very carefully. You can take notes if you like. Take a seat over there, and they just put the chair back with one hand, put the chair back to normal. It's like, take a seat and listen to me very carefully.
This guy, the whole lecture has just been sort of still. His hand is still on his comm device, and he's just looking at you like, "What the hell is happening right now?" Like you notice he also looks a little bit worried because he is clearly aware that he's the last one of his team that is still up and about, and he may know something about what is still left on this ship. But yeah, he also is looking a bit like, what the hell is going on? But he doesn't look. He doesn't look as worried as you might think, possibly because he just called for some backup. And Leaf, on the long range sensors, you get a blip from the Raptor that says there is a very large vessel incoming at faster than light speed, but it's still a way off. But your sensors are so good that you know that they're on their way.
We got incoming, ladies and gentlemen.
Incoming what?
Well, while you were ranting at this, and then Leaf takes another pot shot at this guy. Well, hang on a second.
You are right next to him.
He crumples against the wall, and he is down.
He called for backup. Did no one else catch that? Am I the only one listening to what's going on? Am I the only one battlefield awareness right now?
I'm sorry, did you just shoot at me while I was holding a test tube?
This is your takeaway right now from this situation. He just called backup, and his ship is coming out of hyperspace, which is like 3 times the size of the Raptor, and you're worried about a test tube? There's an alien in the goddamn vents right now that could kill us at any moment.
I just came up with a lecture about safety protocols. Did you not listen?
Dr. Hunt, Dr. Hunch, what are you doing while this
I'm-
argument is happening?
I'm just grabbing as many samples as I can put in.
Are you just like
Yeah.
sweeping them into your doctor's bag at the moment?
I don't know how, of course.
Yes, other spaceship, great.
Don't splash everywhere.
Mr. Cuddles, what is your read on this situation?
So the space pirate type guy, is he out for the count?
I mean, yeah, he's down. He's
Okay. In which case, I will be hovering over his prone form, asking, "Will you be my friend?"
There is no response.
Oh, a sad emoji face appears on the screen. And if we have an unknown vessel inbound, perhaps we should return to the command center, the command deck, to scan for more life forms and or targets.
Okay.
Do we have what we need on this ship? Because we can get out of Dodge pretty damn quick.
I've got what I need.
I'm sure whatever is lurking in the vents is not a threat to any of us.
As you say that, there's another growl that sort of echoes around out of the vents.
Catbon, you have been told to eat your lunch before going on away missions. I can hear your stomach rumbling from here.
Okay, so what is the consensus? You haven't got a lot of time here. That ship is coming in pretty hot, whatever it is, and you are hearing an increasingly loud growling noise from the vents. What is the play here?
Let's just grab the guy from the cupboard, get back to the Raptor, and I think.
I want to know what animal it is.
Okay, well, if you wanna attempt to get back out to the ship via the cupboard, that's quite a scramble. So I'm gonna make you roll for feelings, I suspect, on that. So is anyone? So there is a help action. You can add a d6 to help somebody. So is anyone going to help Leaf?
Is there a more direct, if not more explosive, route to where we need to go? Because presumably there's a lots of volatile materials in this room. So if I could just blow a hole through a wall with calculated precision, then that might save us time.
Leaf puts his helmet on.
To where? To space?
Oh no, but, well, I mean, I don't know how wide this ship is, but if there's a shortcut that we can take via explosions, then I might veto for that. I might argue for that. Yeah.
Okay. So which wall are you putting?
Like whichever wall is between us and the cupboard / command deck.
You know, there's a door in a straight line to get to that cupboard, right?
Yes, but where is the fun in that?
So, okay, whatever. Mr. Cuddles starts trying to build like an explosive device next to the open door that leads directly to the cupboard that you can see down the corridor. What is everyone else doing?
We'll go pick up the guy and we'll meet Cuddles once he's blown a hole through the ship.
We know there's no stopping it when Mr. Cuddles has an idea, so we're just all pegging it.
All right. So you guys are pegging it. So Leaf, I'm going to need you to make me, because you're in a rush, it's a bit of a feelings roll to sort of open up this cupboard and get this guy out. He's not able to run on his own, so you're going to have to sort of carry him as well. So do we think that you are, is this a 1d6 or is anyone helping you with it?
Well, hopefully someone helps. Anyone helping?
Who's helping? Yep, Cat Bomb. Thank you.
Okay,
so 2d6 feelings roll from Leaf, please.
4 and a 6.
4 and a 6. You do it handily. Fantastic. So you kind of you wrench open the cupboard. Cat Bomb helps you get this guy into a fireman's lift, and you start making for the exit. Okay. So all three of you are running down the main corridor back to your ship? Is that fair to say?
I'm well ahead of them because I haven't stopped.
You haven't stopped. So you're probably first back to the ship. Fair enough. Dr. Hunch, as you are running down the main corridor, you can see the doors to the sort of main door back to the ship, back to the airlock ahead of you. But you suddenly become aware there is something running up the corridor behind you, and it hasn't got two legs. And you are hit from behind by a wall of force that takes you down to the ground. What do you do?
Oh, blimey.
Something is breathing heavily in your ear.
I'm going to have to make a sacrifice and sacrifice a couple of my samples, the hazardous samples.
Okay.
And see if I can get them right into the mouth of this or whatever orifice this beast is breathing on me.
Let's go. This is a feelings. It's fairly skin of the teeth, isn't it? Let's go feelings. It's a feelings roll, which
and
you're
I'm
pretty good
definitely
at.
not prepared for it.
You're not prepared in any way, but you're doing it. So 1d6. Yes. Okay then. So you because you've got one success, you just manage it, and so you sort of take one of your precious samples and you stuff it sort of, because you're on your front, you're just sort of doing it a bit blindly. You sort of smash it into the face / more of whatever is currently pinning you down. And then there's a moment of just stillness as in your ear, and then you feel a wet tongue up your face, and just over and over again, and you realize it's licking you. It's giving you a good old lick.
The ritual has begun.
At this moment, Catbon and Leaf come round the corner and what you see is a very large, spiky, scaly creature that is pinning the Doctor down close to the door. What do you do?
Catbon is straight away, and they're gonna run towards it and get very, very close and start.
Tilda, you're a little bit muffled. Sorry, I'm not sure why. No, I don't know if it's a microphone issue or does anyone?
No. I said whatever you did to fix it, undo it.
Okay. Is it? Okay, it's just gone a bit muffled for me. Sorry. But sorry, if you speak up just a little bit, I might be able to hear you, Tilda.
Okay, I will try. So
yes, I can hear you better now. Yeah, go ahead.
Catbon is going to run straight towards the animal, and get as close as possible and just start petting it like, aren't you beautiful? Oh, you are so gorgeous.
And I'm just still on my front, just going, get it off me, get it off me, get it off me.
Patience.
So it stops licking you at this point, and it just starts doing that thing where it kicks itself with its back leg because you're stroking it in just the right place.
Yeah. Can I try leading it off from the Doctor into our ship?
You certainly can try. Give me a feelings roll. Are you prepared?
Oh, I have been preparing this for my whole life.
This is your dream, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Yep. And so you get 2d6. Does that sound?
I mean,
you want 3?
I think I'm going to argue for 3 just because.
Have 3d6. We're nearly done.
You've been helped by the Doc, I imagine.
Yeah. He wants
get it off.
He wants this thing off anyway. So 3d6 feelings. So above 3 or above. This thing is putty in your hands. This enormous monster that has now ingested 2 mystery vials, and you manage to get it onto the ship. So all 3 of you, plus the creature, are on your ship. Mr. Cuddles, what are you doing?
Okay, so in the time it's taken for all of the commotion in the corridor back to our ship, by the time they make it on, I'll arrive kind of fashionably late, just looking somewhat nonchalant, somewhat disappointed, because I only got to shoot numerically 1 bad guys, and yeah, I guess I'll just get, if everyone's back on the Raptor, I'll just get back on board as well, and just kind of like all the joints just slump a little bit. Sad face emoji.
So you're leaving behind your explosives project, or have you set a little timer on it? Maybe.
Well, whatever has happened, whatever I've done with those bombs,
that's still at play.
That's on the ship.
And you've come back to the ship now. Okay, as you all get onto the ship, I'm rushing now because we've got like 5 minutes. A very large ship drops out of hyperspace very close to you, just as you're detaching from the courier ship, and you get an incoming transmission.
This is the Raptor speaking, part of the consortium. Can I take a message?
Ignoring your polite request to bat them off, the video the video screen pops up, and you are looking into the face of none other than the dread pirate captain Maya Zord. It just seems to be her at the moment, and she is on her bridge with her rather nasty-looking crew around her, and she says, "So you're the ones who are trying to steal my samples?"
No.
I'm sorry there. Would you mind repeating that? The line is not very good right now. I'm having some difficulty hearing you. Please don't be alarmed if our ship just suddenly flies off into hyperspace. It's a problem that we've been having. You know, it just suddenly does it. We have no control over it. Jump to hyperspace quickly.
I'm going to make this very easy for you. You hand over what I want, and I don't blow you out of the sky.
Do you mind just give me 1 second there? Mr. Cuddles, can I borrow you a second?
Hello.
Do you remember that we picked up that nuclear warhead at some point? Would you mind just putting that in the teleporting booth and just teleporting that over to the enemy ship, telling them that's the package that we're after?
Oh, that will not be... Do not worry about that. I'll turn to the vid screen. I'll unmute us. And hello, Dread Captain Zord. As the designated diplomatic envoy of the interstellar scout ship Raptor, I am more than willing to open up negotiations with you. As you can see, we have vacated the ship which you are claiming is your own. You are more than I am more than happy to allow you to take possession of the ship as we make our merry way significant and put a significant amount of distance between ourselves and you. Please use your tractor beams to take that ship aboard your own at any given point.
This kind of feels
this
like
is our gift to you.
This feels like you're trying to persuade the dread captain, the dread pirate space captain. So I'm going to need we could argue you're an expert since you are trained as a protocol droid. So I'm prepared to give you 3d6 for this.
Can I say that I'm helping him?
Yeah.
By just nodding in the background.
You're nodding in the background. So you can have 4d6. You are trying to roll below a 5.
Click.
Actually, that is 2 successes and a laser feelings. So you've done a pretty good job. Okay.
There'll be the beaming smiley face emoji on the screen.
She says, well, I will obviously be searching that ship before I let you go anywhere.
That is fine. Again, I was just trying to make sure our ship does not jump to hyperspace. The moment she's on the ship, I'm jumping to hyperspace, so everyone start buckling in, all right?
Okay, what is Catbon doing at the moment?
Catbon is trying to hide the giant animal behind him with not a lot of success. Just gonna be like, it's okay, just be quiet for a second.
Okay, you're trying to hide an enormous spiky beast just behind you.
Yeah, I think they are trying to. They are still fairly happy, so they're generating so many bubbles. They're hoping it kind of hides the animal.
Just producing bubbles. Do you want to give me a roll for that? I mean,
no.
pick lasers or feelings. Your stats are 3. So...
This is definitely feelings.
Okay, this is feelings, and
not prepared, but I think I'm an
prepared.
expert at creating bubbles.
Expert at creating bubbles. Have 2d6 by all means, and it's a feelings roll, so you're going for above a 3.
I think that is
You
definitely
somehow
above a 3.
You somehow managed to contort yourself to get 2 successes, which is a good job. But you're just sort of totally casually bubbling in the background as you hide this enormous creature. And Dread Pirate Space Captain Maya Zord sort of looks a little bit curiously at you, but doesn't think anything of it. Leaf, you have a sinking feeling as you get a readout on the console that there is a what is it called? Like a tractor beam that has just been deployed around your ship, which would make it very tricky to jump to hyperspace. Now, there's a lot more story we could get into, but we have 1 minute. So I'm gonna ask for like our final round of actions. What are you guys doing to get free of this tractor beam and make away with your samples?
Has she tractor beamed the ship we've just come off of?
No, she has not. No.
I will gesture frantically at the ship that she should tractor that in.
So, right, so you're trying to convince her to tractor that ship.
Well, yeah, I mean, if she's going to search it, she may as well do it from the comfort of her own ship, right?
Okay. So that's you. What about Leaf?
Oh, sorry, me. Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Leaf is hovering over a button to expel unnecessary parts of the ship to confuse the tractor beam so they could break free.
Okay, I like that very much. Catbon.
I am not sure how useful Catbon will be in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can I help Mr. Cuddles instead of doing my own thing?
You certainly can.
And
actually,
before they start helping, like Mr. Cuddles, Mr. Cuddles.
Yes.
Meet Mr. Snuggles.
Did you bring a goddamn space lizard on this ship?
No.
And Dr. Hunch, are there any final actions that you're attempting in order to?
I think I've just gone down to the med lab, and
Yeah?
I'm just hiding as many of the samples as I can so that they won't find them if they come onto the ship.
Yes. Yeah. That is fair enough. So Mr. Cuddles and Catbon, you are going to make an impassioned plea to Captain Zord to tractor in the other ship first, while they hold. It's a dual tractor beam. It's very, very bougie ship they've got. So
Catbon's actually going to make the argument like, "Oh yeah, you might want to get that ship very soon into your ship. One of your guys has no idea how to handle those samples. You just throw in around."
Okay, so give me a feelings roll real quick. So would you say, are we prepared? Are we not really prepared or expert?
Not prepared.
But Mr. Cuddles and you are working together, so you get 2d6 for this one.
Okay. Pray for me.
Yep. Hey! That is a success. You do a really good job. And Dr. Zord, Zord kind of narrows her eyes and says, "Yes, good idea. We're going to search that ship first." And so she starts pulling your ship, not your ship, the courier ship into hers, and you watch it as it goes in, and the cargo doors kind of close, and there's a moment of silence. And Mr. Cuddles, what actually happens? next.
The emoji on screen will turn to that of the little red devil, the horn devil emoji, and I will produce a little box with a big red button on it, and I will diplomacy. Press the button, and the makeshift volatile bomb that I built in that lab, and then went because they left the door open. That will then remote detonate from within the ship.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, you watch as just the side gets blown out of Captain Zord's ship, sending it into utter disarray, sending like rubble and shrapnel out into space. The tractor beam drops. What do you do, Leaf?
He punches it.
You punch it. Give me a quick lasers roll with 3d6.
That is 6, 2, and 1.
Which is
It's 1 failure, 2 successes, isn't it?
2 successes. No. So you do it. You do a good job of it. You punch it and you zip off as the communication with Captain Zord's ship cuts off. You hear Maya screaming with frustration that you've got away with her samples. And Dr. Hunch, in the medical bay, where you're desperately trying to hide these samples and clearly very precious, world-changing samples, you hear of forepaws coming in behind you, and the creature sits down next to you. And what was before a kind of sandy-coloured, scaly creature is now a kind of fairly pleasant pink colour. And sort of a bit fluffier than before, and it just kind of goes up at you, and you recall stuffing 2 of your precious vials into its mouth, and it occurs to you that perhaps this was not some deadly space virus or cure for awful diseases after all that Captain Zord was after, but perhaps a simple cosmetic mutagen. How do you feel?
I'm not a vet.
No, you're not. I think on that note, as you sail off into space, a job relatively well done, which is all we can ever really expect of the Raptor crew. Thank you for playing Lasers and Feelings with me, everybody. And good job.
Thanks, Julia.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much for your really kind donations, everybody. Thank you for watching and sticking with us. We're going to be back in about 15 minutes. In half an hour. Thank you for so at about quarter to 4-ish for a game of Jason Statham's Big Vacation, which Mr. Cuddles will be running, but not in that, guys. We'll drop some links in the chat for the various channels and podcasts that we run. We'd love it if you check them out. But more than that, we'd love it if you kept watching. Donate if you can. It's a fantastic cause that you're supporting here. And hope you guys all have an amazing afternoon.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.